that I'm about to talk about happened happened like a long time ago. I feel like this thing that I'm about to talk about happened so long ago, and I don't want to just say it's this, like the title I made it or that I'm about to make it. But it's just I never felt that feeling before. Like when, let's say, I've like hung out with people before, and then like we did what happened in this story. I've never had what happened in this story happen with other people, but the reason why I don't want to just blame it on, you know, that person is because I feel like there's so many variables, and it's just something I could talk about. And I also have some pointers in this anyway. You'll get what I'm saying. Like, there's something to take from it regardless. So even if they did do what I think happened, or if I just was being like reckless, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Either way, it would be good to just talk about this because it's a good thing to talk about. Anyway, I was talking about how I went to a behavioral health hospital like in 2020, and they prescribed me like some medicines when I had my mom's insurance, honey. And like I think also just wanted to disclose I am not a medical professional, and I do not condone the use of medicines that are typically prescribed unprescribed. Also, I don't really condone any of the activity that I mentioned in this video. If you're feeling sad or depressed or some type of way, please talk to a medical professional and don't just try to self-treat yourself. Okay, bet. Thanks. See, because my memory is not all that well with like what happened with all that extra leftover medicine that I had. But basically after I left the hospital in like 2020, it was like the end of 2020. I had two medicines prescribed to me. I don't know if you're allowed to name medicines that you were prescribed. Are you? I'm gonna just say it and then I'm gonna Google it after I make it. So I was prescribed lamictal and hydroxyzine. Um, and the lamictal was like a mood stabilizer. That shit felt like a brain scrubber. Like it felt like you didn't have any mood. Like it felt like it was just like making you like an NPC low key, but like only if you're somebody that's diagnosed properly with like, let's say something like bipolar, right? If you feel like your medicine is making you feel nothing, that's probably not the right diagnosis, right? Or the right medicine. It should make you feel more balanced and more like yourself, right? So I felt like off rip I was misdiagnosed. Anyway, long story short, or as short as possible, I had those medicines and I was taking the lamictal and hydroxyzine at the same time. You were supposed to take them at the same time. And I noticed that one time that I had taken my mood stabilizer medicine because the anxiety medication, the hydroxyzine, was just like it just was like a nervous system like medicine. It was kind of like giving like here let me say allergy medicine. It was giving like allergy medicine or like sleep aid medicine. So it was like that, but like from the fucking pharmacy. So I had those, and I think one time I was taking my medicine, and this is like in 2020. I was taking my medicine, the Lamictal and the hydroxyzine, and then I smoked a little bit of a J, like a joint. Um, and it had only, you know what I'm saying, marijuana in it with THC and some tobacco, like crushed up tobacco, not from a cigarette. Like it was like tobacco. It was like about this big. I smoked, or at least basically this much of something that was like this big. And I know it was only THC because that's the same weed I had been smoking. Like my pretty much, I trusted my sources. So I smoked a little bit of that, and then I noticed I was seeing like stars, and it wasn't like something right quick. Like if you're in the shower and you're anemic and you need to open the door or turn down the heat, it was like I was literally seeing like stars and like colors, and I was like tripping a little bit. I was trying to like relax. But I couldn't because it felt like the world was like caving in on me. So I was like, oh my God, it felt like I couldn't see anymore. I couldn't hear anymore. Like, it felt like everything was like, it felt like a cup was over my ears at first. And then the color thing started happening. And then, like, everything started turning, like, kind of blank. But, like, it was not, like, black. It was like, bitch, what are you doing? I was like, oh no. And then my heart obviously was, like, racing because I was so anxious that was happening. And my mom was already ill. Like, I felt like life was really lifing. Anyway, my mom was already ill AF. Like, she was like in the middle of her chemo treatments. She was like really sick. Like, she was really getting a little frail. And she was always wearing a robe. Always wearing a robe. And at this point, she was feeling like she was dying. So, and if she hears me like kind of banging around the bathroom, like trying to like stand up or like come back to reality, she's gonna check. So she like, I went to the bathroom to try to like, I don't know, put water on my face from what I could do, and then I sat down on the toilet with the toilet seat down, so like I didn't like, I don't know, fall in or something. I don't know. I was sitting there and then the door was unlocked, thankfully. But I think I was just sitting there. I didn't see anything anymore. Like I didn't hear anything anymore. And so she opens the door and I felt her, like I felt like I was there but not there. I felt her, and then like her saying like, I didn't hear anything, but I just, by the time I was coming back to reality, she was like, baby, blah, 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 blah. And it was like starting to really sink in. She said, you've been sitting like this for like 10 minutes. And I was like, what? What? 10 minutes? And she was like, yeah, you've been like clenching and like trying to like breathe and stuff. I was like, oh nah. And I'm like, maybe, because she was a Leo, so she was dramatic. But you know what's crazy? I really don't think she would be a dramatic. Maybe it was like 5 minutes or like something like that. Anyway, that was definitely like some form of seizure, and I feel like it was induced because my dumbass, they tell you not to smoke or drink when you take those medicines, right? Like especially something like a mood stabilizer. Literally, nah. Or like you're just asking for problems. I thought it was only a little bit. I was trying to be slick. So, never again. I will never mix nothing with nothing. Nothing with nothing, especially alcohol. I feel like I could have died. But I'm glad it was only weed, because if I was like an alcoholic or like pressed to drink, I'm sure I would have like, something would have been wrong. I definitely had like a little seizure. It was like, I Googled what happened in order, and it was like that. So I feel like maybe I'm like prone to those anyway, because sometimes I kind of like blank out, and it's not like I'm like not here. It's just like, I guess some people daydream sometimes, or like that's typical. So I don't really want to say that that's what I be feeling sometimes. Like I'm just like out of it, but sometimes I really do like be in a like a daze, and I feel like I can easily just like step into another realm type shit. I feel like I call it daydreaming, and then like I have to kind of like be like, wow, back. So I say all that to say, one, if you are prescribed like I said before, medicines, don't like medicines, especially like mood stabilizers, where it's like really in your brain circuitry. Don't smoke any type of weed, even if it's top shelf, even if it's, because it wasn't Reggie. I used to smoke. I mean, like, I used to be fine otherwise, but Maya was really trying to be slick. They literally tell you not to do that, and I did it. So it was only like 5 or 10 minutes. My mom was dramatic about it, but because it's scary, and that could really cause long-term issues, right? So it's like, okay. Anyway, I threw away the Lamictal, and they also say to taper off the medication, but I was only taking it for like probably a week or two at this time. It wasn't like I was like deep, and it wasn't like a huge dosage that they gave me. It was like pretty much the beginner dosage, which also scares me about the fact that mixing it with a little bit of weed like that caused that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it was the medication. I don't know. Anyway, just trying to be fair about my procedure that I took part of. Anyway, I still feel like I kept the anxiety medication, but I just wasn't taking it because I was scared of medication now. So I threw away that crazy shit because I felt like they misdiagnosed me anyway, and I felt like I didn't need that. I felt like I only really needed anxiety medicine, and like I guess the way I used to like talk about things, I was more like, I don't want to say childish, like I was literally younger. So I was like 20 years old when I went to the hospital in the first place, and I was talking about my life, and I was talking kind of how I talk now. Like I wasn't using only like my emotional experience. I was trying to be like rigid or fair, and I feel like the doctor was like mad, like exhausted. He was probably tired of saying, just trying to pick at people's brains and what's this and that. So he just wrote it down as, actually I remember when I was describing some things to him, he was just like kind of like cutting my words short and just trying to get to the next person. It was like, oh yeah, this is bipolar. Oh yeah, this is bipolar. Yeah, this is obviously. And I was like, it feels more like not that, but I just didn't want to like argue against somebody that has papers. So I don't know. He didn't say I have like the mania or the one that's typical. So I did give him that. But it was just like, I just don't feel like it's that. I feel like if anything, it's like BPD-ish or like, and not even all that. I just feel like it's like like anxiety, like social anxiety for real. But and I feel like it was just like because of my upbringing and stuff, not because of like me, like an imbalance for real. So I felt like those medicines that they were prescribing was just scrambling my brain instead of balancing it. I don't know, because what I'm saying, I kept the anxiety medicine because it didn't feel so scrambly compared to the other medicine, even though it made me feel like brand spanking new. It just felt odd. It felt like I was like an NPC. Like, anyway, I threw that down the toilet. The days following, I was smoking a little bit more because I felt the mood shift. Nothing happened. I wasn't ever really a drinker. Like back then, I was not doing all that until like kind of after my mom died. I would buy a bottle here and there and drink it too fast, but I wasn't like buying alcohol. Anyway, so fast forward to 2020, like 3 or something. I feel like I still had a little bit of my anxiety medicine, like in the corner of my little dresser or whatever the fuck it was, right? So I kept those, and I was going to see someone, like to hang out and like chill and smoke or whatever have you, right? This is after my mom already passed. She passed at the end of 2021. So I was going to hang out with someone like in the evening time, and my biggest issue with trying to hang out with people and like just trying to get to know people, it's like I didn't know how to taper. Like I was really struggling with like, I need to not be seen as like boring, lame, or anxious. So whatever it is that I'm doing, like if I'm smoking or drinking or like, you know, taking something to calm down, I literally just like do it, because I really be feeling like if I don't do that, I'm gonna be so anxious, and it's like nothing of a small amount is gonna help me. I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more and more. So, one, if you feel like you have to be that damn inebriated around whoever you're around or about to be around, don't be around them, or calm down. It's either that or the other thing. It's like, just relax, or like let things have time to kick in. Like, I was always okay with edibles, but at the same time, I didn't really have those a lot. But everybody knows, like, take your time, or just like know your tolerance. And I'm pretty sure I have a high weed tolerance because I grew up around so many smokers. But and I smoked so much after that. I was hanging out with this person, and before I left to hang out with them, I think this is like one of the first times I had taken this medicine again, for like after a couple of years, or like sometimes I think in between the years I would just pop one sometimes if I didn't have weed, or like I actually really stayed away from it for the most part because I was still scared. But I thought, okay, I could just take it today. I will definitely be good, because like, this isn't that, like the Lambic doll, like this isn't that shit that was like playing with my head. And so, child, I was, you know what I'm saying, I was brought a little tiny amount of licky lick. It was like about this big, if this is like a little pint. And I was smoking with them. It was about this big. I decided to drink the little pint really fast, right? So I just didn't want to be anxious. Okay, so we already took the little hydroxyzine. Cool, you could have stopped right there. Man's brought a little pint of licky lick. Why the fuck was I trying to mix alcohol with something I knew I took, right? So they, like, again, they said don't do that. And I'm not prone to taking a lot of those types of medicines. I don't have a lot of fat on me, and I'm just like, just testing myself, just really messing myself. Anyway, so I drank it, like pretty much in like 2 gulps. They were like, first of all, why are you doing that alone? But they were like, what the fuck? They were like, oh, you drink that fast. I'm probably giving fucking alcoholic to them. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. I'm a little nerdy. And I don't even want to talk about all the details of this day. No, it's really not that funny, because I was really like, I was so sad around this time. I was so sad. I was just like trying to hide it with all this like numbness and shit. I was so sad. Like, I just started like in 2025 really crying my eyes out about real things and letting it actually get out. And I feel like I was also mad sick in like 2023 and 2024. I just didn't know, because like this year I was really like dropping a lot of shit. Anyway, I was smoking with this person after drinking the little pint of licky lick. We had been driving around a little bit. They didn't drink, okay? They just gave this shit to me. They didn't know I took anything. Dumbass. We drive somewhere. We're driving. I'm just steady, just trying to feel all right. I think we had stopped in this parking lot, and child, we started smoking for real, like again, after like a little bit. My fucking eye starts twitching. I was like, okay, this happens sometimes. Yeah. No, it was not like normal twitching. It was like, I was really like, I felt like I f***ed up. I felt like I don't want to die in this man's car. I don't want to be like doing that to him. I was really like, I was really switching uncontrollably. I was trying to act so cool. I was just like, what did I do? And so I felt the heartbeat thing before the little eye twitch, and then Like once that started happening, I just closed my eyes and I was just sitting back like, damn it. Do not, bruh, do not mix alcohol with anything. Just fuck it. But just don't mix things. You know what rappers be like? I mix the with the and then we put the and then we said don't try to be a rapper, bruh. Don't. When they saying that they miserable, they probably mean it. All right. Don't mix shit with shit. Anyway, man, I started twitching. I started like tweaking, and then I just tried to lay back and close my eyes, and then I was still smoking. I was just going ahead anyway. I was like, maybe it'll calm me down. I black out basically. I really blacked out. I blacked out. Like I was like frozen, like solid. I think, oh man, I felt like I was like unconscious but conscious. Like it felt like my body was like, you know, like a taser, like if it tases you. I felt like that. Like I was frozen. So I don't know. Like I feel like I was only conscious in my brain, but I had no vision. Like it was like I couldn't see for real, but it was like flashes, and like I was like literally frozen. Like I feel like my limbs couldn't move or anything, and all I remember is being pulled to the back of the car, and like some things happened. I do remember that. I do, but I feel like that was really on me. Like first of all, if you're hanging out with somebody for the first time, you shouldn't feel like smoking or drinking with them is like a good idea. And on top of that, I was really being a little reckless. So I'm really surprised I'm okay. Honestly, because I was so sad. Like after my mom died, I felt like I died. Like I was like, fuck everything. But then I started coming back to life. So I was like, okay, never mind. I don't want to feel like that. So don't. Just don't. Anything I talked about, don't. All right. No Bryson Tiller. Literally, just I was fine after that. Like I feel like I woke up after like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and I would come back to myself again. I think I threw up, but outside the car, like I didn't like, you know what I'm saying, on the prindle and shit, or in the seat. I definitely threw up outside. And so they were driving me home, and I was still kind of unconscious. They were talking to me. They were like, are you good? Are you good? Like, damn, it was so sad. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was surprised even in that moment that I was conscious, because I felt like I was dying. Like I felt like I was like not okay. I felt like I was stunned, like a stun gun. And then they dropped me off, and I got out. I was walking, and I didn't feel like I was walking. That's why my God must be real AF, because I didn't feel like I was like conscious, but I was like floating back to my apartment. I was just like, okay, I know how to get back inside. Man, I'm saying, really, really, if you're grieving or you're sad about things, please try your hardest to take care of yourself, or like really care about yourself still. Like even if it takes you like months, eons, decades. I don't care if you're crawling. I don't care if you're in a depression. It don't gotta be grief. It could be depression, anxiety, anything like that. Like paranoia, like whatever the F it is. Just like literally take it one fucking baby step at a time, and literally block out the noise. Like keep your tunnel vision, because people are gonna think what they want about you and say what they want about you and blah 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 if they feel like, you know, oh, I would never, or I would this and that. Like people do shit that's good and bad, okay? Like people make choices that are great and not so great. So it's like you're not the judge of anybody. Also, I try not to just feel like, oh, I felt like this, so they had to have done that. It's just like You know, I never felt like that with anybody else. And I feel like, I just felt like it wasn't really, I feel like at the time it wasn't really the anxiety medicine because it wouldn't do all that, right? But I guess because I drank, I can't tell, but I'm obviously gonna make the title a little dramatic just so I could like. 'Cause I never wanted to make that person feel like they did something to me because high key somebody was pulling up. I think while I was like throwing up or something, like they were like, I don't want nobody to think I did something to you, and I was like, I know, like I'm still like, oh, I'm so sorry. You want me to talk in the car, like, but it was okay. It was okay. It was okay. Just if you're gonna do things, do it in moderation, or really, because I used to be really like a solo smoker. I really would like smoke alone most of the time. Like I barely really smoke with people like that, and then I would barely drink. I just thought, oh God, I need to be myself and like be less tense and just know your limits and also don't don't risk it all just because you're sad. Okay? Okay? Feelings are fleeting, things like grief, it goes away. No, it don't. It really doesn't. Like even years later, like I think I literally like cried hard AF about my mom dying like literally less than a week ago, and it feels like I wasn't giving myself the chance to process nothing that happened from 20 to 24 or 25 until after I stopped smoking so much weed and drinking sometimes, and I really was like doing that to myself. So it's like, please, if you're grieving or depressed or anything, it's not helping. That like drowning or like fogging your brain. It helps for a moment. Like you literally have to feel your feelings, and then like it'll be okay. Like you can do whatever you want to do after, or like you're grown, right? But it's like you can't use it to avoid your feelings. It's going to sit in your body. And I learned that firsthand. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness. I just hope if I have any viewers that are like grieving and I'm sitting here talking about, yeah, smoking and drinking is, I'm not condoning it, but or if you're depressed or anything, or like you barely care about this or that anymore, it's like, whatever feeling it is, literally feel it and don't hurt yourself. Like, there is no reason to do none of that. And then just because you're not physically hurting yourself don't mean being mean to yourself or like drinking and smoking like literally heavily is self-destructive just as much as like something textbook self-destructive, you know what I'm saying? So just like try to find the the balance and that type of shit, because I don't feel all that great. I put myself together today. I still feel like I'm sad AF, but not as sad as I was. So there's most days where I don't really shower for like 2 days or 3 days. And then sometimes I wait till 5 p.m. to brush my teeth. Or like sometimes all I want to eat is like fucking cereal or like a snack. And other times I'm trying to take care of myself for real. And then it's like, okay, just be for real though and like try to really take care of yourself. Like I know there's people out there like pretty much it can't be just me. So it's just like don't throw yourself away because of a feeling or an event that's fleeting eventually, right? Anyway, that's all I had to say. I feel like obviously I don't feel like this person did what the title is, but I'm just, I'm saying, I had an experience like that. Now, should they have did what they did with me while I was clearly out of it? No, because I do remember we had did and I was just out of it. But it's all right because I put myself in that position, and it's just like it's whatever. But y'all be careful out there. People, whatever.